get-go, we want to thank Golden Lion for hosting this event. And as you know, the event gets hosted at venues that are owned by true small business owners and entrepreneurs. And Mark just told me a story, which I can't repeat, but you know, they were game-changing entrepreneurs 20 years ago here in Flagler Beach. It's wonderful to see so many people and very many actually new faces. We're going to have two great speakers tonight. So before we get to that, I would like a show of hands for a couple of questions that I'm going to ask. Who is here for the first time? First Entrepreneur Night event? First time. Great, welcome. Who has driven 20 miles or more to come here? 20 miles or more. That's wonderful. Okay. Who is here in a web-based business? Web-based business. Oh, that's quite a bit of hands. Wonderful. Who has started a new business in the last 12 months? New business in the last 12 months. Congratulations. Now, to my right, I feel like Mayor Bloomberg. You have Priscilla Vandergrift, live interpreting the event in sign language. We don't know if she's doing a good job or not. No, she's a very competent interpreter, and Joe and Priscilla own the United Communication Service, which is a game-changing company to teach small business and large business the American Sign Language just enough so they could attract that profile. As you know, hard of hearing and deaf people are a tight community, so they just started their business just a few months ago, and you could watch Priscilla's, you know, translate what I'm saying, which is totally distracting me. So, without further ado, we're going to get to the speakers quickly. First, Helen Rake, who drove from Jacksonville, Florida, who is the president of the Northeast Florida Green Chamber of Commerce, a brand new organization that covers all the way to Flagler, right? Further down from here? No, Flagler is the last stop. So, Helen Rake.
Hey, Helen! Hey, everybody. Thank you for coming to see me! No, I guess she came for more than that, but anyway. I just wanted to say a few words about the Green Chamber of Commerce. You know, we are actually a chapter, the first chapter of the Green Chamber of the South. And, you know, I'm wearing two hats tonight. One is, of course, the president of the Green Chamber, but really to tell you more about that, I have to tell you more about my other business, which is my day business, which is as Executive Vice President of Collins Capital Management. I'm a head portfolio manager there for a socially responsible investment portfolio. And being that said, I felt like we needed to walk the walk as well. So when I looked to green our business and make it more sustainable, we were already doing a lot, but we weren't doing enough. It was really hard to find the resources, I have to say. And you know, and then once we did, and I had this beautiful corporate sustainability report, I had nowhere to promote it. So I wanted to start a all-encompassing, industry-wide, you know, encompassing all industries and professions group. So the Green Chamber was the best place to do that. And we've been around for a year now. Jacksonville is doing really well. And actually, Kai has challenged Flagler County, Palm Coast, and Flagler Beach to outdo us. So we're starting a sub-chapter here, and anybody who's interested, I would really love to speak to you. I'd love to put you on our mailing list because we will be having meetings here. And you know, you guys could be on the ground floor of starting something really exciting and helping us grow what we've already started. So how many people here actually consider themselves in a green or sustainable business? Yeah, that's quite a few hands. Anybody who is web-based is already, you know, most of the way there. A lot of services, you know, things like that, but anybody can do it, and part of what we want to do is educate you on how you can better do that. So again, please feel free to talk to me. My name is Helen Rake, and I'll be entertaining here later tonight, just so you know. Thank you.
A distinguished speaker who just recently moved to Florida, Dean Paul Jarley, the Dean of UCF, College of Business Administration, who drove from Orlando today to be with us. So if you'd like to come close and hear a few words from Dean Jarley about young entrepreneurship and the impact of business schools in that front. Dean Jarley.
Well, thank you, Kai. It's a great pleasure to be here. Kai and I actually met through tweeting each other. That sort of says something about what the world is like today. For those of you who don't know, the University of Central Florida is celebrating its 50th anniversary this year. UCF is the same age as my little sister, to give you a sense of that. And we have roughly 60,000 students on campus. Quick quiz. We were founded in 1963. What was the largest private sector employer in the United States in 1963? Does anybody know?
Private sector.
General Motors. It was General Motors, right? And if you went to work for General Motors, you spent 30 years there, you got a gold watch, you got a defined pension benefit plan, and you got health insurance for life. None of my 9,000 students are going to get that deal. None of them. Okay? Business schools were really designed to get people jobs in General Motors. From the 1950s through the mid-1980s, that was the bread and butter, quite frankly, of what we did. The world has changed a lot in that period, and we've had to change with it. And so today, entrepreneurship is a big part of what we do in the College of Business, and it's a big part of our future going forward. We have roughly 300 entrepreneurship majors at any time in the College of Business, but frankly, that's not the center of entrepreneurship for us. Okay? The center of entrepreneurship for us really depends upon a couple of things. It depends upon getting students out of their comfort zones. We are very big at pairing our business students with engineering students and science students and medical students, because that's where the kind of exchanges occur that lead to scalable business ideas. You know, if you put our business school students out on their own, they're going to create lifestyle businesses. There's certainly nothing wrong with a lifestyle business, but it's not a particularly scalable enterprise for us. If we can pair them with engineering students or with medical students or with science students, we have a real shot of transforming the economy here in Central Florida and beyond. So it's really important for us to get our students out of our comfort zones. The second thing, and for those of you who are parents, if you listen to me for 30 seconds, it's this: stop doing your kids' homework. Okay? I want you to stop that right now. One thing that happens a lot to us is kids end up going to business school because mom or dad said, go to business, you'll get a job in that. Right? Inference. It's a really safe choice. I picked a fight with the editor of the Chronicle of Higher Education a few weeks ago, who wrote that a college education is no longer a guarantee of success. And I wrote back and said, who the hell ever told you that? Right? A college education is a set of skills and a perspective. What you do with it after that is entirely up to you. Right? If it's one thing I worry about with our kids today, is we're killing risk-taking in them. It's really bad. Right? And you know, despite a lot of really smart people in real estate thought they had solved the risk-return trade-off problem, not really. Right? So if you're not willing to take risks, your likelihood of generating much of a return is not very high. And if it's anything I need in my program right now, it's mentors for our students. It's people who have been there, done that. I've never met an entrepreneur who didn't tell me a story about how they went to bed one night not sure how they were going to make payroll in the morning. Right? And getting our students comfortable with taking those kinds of risks and knowing that there's life beyond failure, right, is probably the single most important thing that we can do for them right now. Any of you who are interested in serving as mentors, any of you who are interested in coming down and judging one of the many competitions we have a business idea competition, we have a business plan competition, we have a social entrepreneurship competition. We would welcome your wisdom and your willingness to participate. So I really appreciate the invite to come out tonight. This is probably the best venue I've had in 6 months. Yeah, I might come back, quite honestly. So I thank you for your attention, and I look forward to talking to all of you tonight. Thanks.
Vern tonight for providing the PA system, Pyramid Music. We want to thank Kaisha Cannon of Alani's Creations, the official event planner of this event. And speaking of young entrepreneurship, I want to introduce you to one more person, Nathan. Here's a young man, 13, 12, how old are you? Huh? 13. Who's been tapped as a student advisor to travel to Europe, and who is raising $7,000 at his age to make that happen in the next 2 months. And he's almost there, about 30% of the way. You want to say a couple of things about your project?
As you said, my name is Nathan Higgins, and I've been selected to become a student ambassador with People to People. I've been fundraising by selling homemade crafts at local craft fairs and...
You're doing fine.
So far I've raised about $1,900 by selling like bracelets and t-shirts.
Where are you going? Where are you going?
I get to go to Austria, France, Italy, and Switzerland. I will get to work on a working farm, build a medieval castle with medieval tools, and visit the beauty of the Louvre. I'll also get to visit the terrifying history of Auschwitz, the World War II concentration camp in Austria.
Very exciting!
So Nathan has to raise a few more grand, and here is Bruce Page, who wants to vouch for him, and I think he's set. I have a feeling he's set here.
I had the privilege of meeting this young man about a month ago, and his mom works with me at Intercoastal Bank, and he's one, I believe, going to be a superstar in this world going forward. So he doesn't know I'm about to do this, but he's here if anybody feels the heart to support his trip. I'm amazed that he came up with this concept and took the initiative to do it. So tonight only, the Intercoastal Bank will match $1 for $1 for any donations anybody here wants to give for him tonight. So please consider it. We'd appreciate it, and I hope Nathan gets to be able to do this trip, and I'm sure it'll do a lot of good for him and us going forward. Good luck, Nathan.